Wasabi, you guys. We have a cool looking trig integral. It looks scary, but trust me, it actually simplifies very nicely. In fact, to test your trig identity skills, let's have a race. Alright? You ready? On your mark, get set, go. Sign. Oops. And we have minus sine x cosine. I'm gonna go like this. I should have done this earlier. Oh shit. Okay. Sine of x cosine sine of x. They cancel out. So what you get is 2 cosine x sine of. Okay. So we get negative 2 cosine of sine of x plus c. I hope I got that correct. Hopefully I didn't hallucinate as I rush. Let me check the answers. Negative 2 cosine sine of x. That is exactly what I got. Negative 2 cosine sine of x. Yep. That's what I got. Alright. Did you beat me? Maybe, maybe not. Let me know in the comments. But I think the fastest, if you were to actually beat me, I think well, let me start off how to solve this for those who don't know. Okay, so again, to recap, the identity that you should definitely know is this is sine of A cosine B plus, and then cosine of B, A sine of B. So with AB, it's sine cosine cosine sine. Okay, sine cosine cosine sine. Right, A plus plus or minus, same thing. Okay, with cosine, it's different. Cosine is different. So instead of sine cosine cosine sine, it's cosine cosine sine sine. Okay, cosine cosine sine sine. And instead of plus or minus, the signs actually switch. So it's minus plus. Then sine sine. Okay? So for the sine, you start with sine. Okay. If we're doing sine, we start with sine. Sine, cosine, cosine, sine. We start with cosine, we start with cosine here. Cosine, cosine, sine, sine. Just be careful with cosine. You flip the sign. Okay? Just be very careful with this. You flip the sign for cosine. That's once you know that identity, it's easier to kind of simplify this whole integral, right? So you use that trig identity to simplify, and then two terms would cancel out with each other. Now, I don't recommend this for, not even for intermediates actually. Abbreviating it this way is can be mentally awkward for you. So I would only do this for advanced people. If you want to abbreviate, what I would do is I would do sine x. Sometimes I don't do this because it can be mentally awkward. So, but if you're okay with it, instead of writing out the whole sine, cosine, cosine, sine, you can just do sine x, cosine, sine, plus cosine, sine, cosine, cosine, sine, right? XS, XS. And you can do the same thing here, right? Oh, this is a sine law, sine, cosine, and then minus cosine, sine, right? Then we have XS, XS. Okay. And then here, oh, would you look at that? These two are the same, right? So they cancel each other out. And these two are the same, but notice that the negative cancels each other out, so we get 2 of cosine of x of sine of x. Okay, so this is how you obliterate your opponent, just by abbreviation. The downside is, you have to be mentally endurant, if that makes sense. If you are not mentally endurant, you're gonna screw up your abbreviation. You're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna mindlessly accidentally write it's cosine, and then you like start to confuse yourself. Wait, I messed up somewhere, right? And you might even end up miswriting something when you go too fast, and you're gonna get a wrong answer. So you have to be very mentally endurant and accurate. So that's why I only recommend this notation for advanced people, because it's mentally awkward. So if you can't do this, it is okay to just write it fully. It is okay to just write it fully. All right, sine of x, cosine of sine of x. You can write it like that if you want, right? And then cosine of x, sine of s, right? You could do that. You can definitely do that, right? I don't like writing it like this, because it's like look at this, right? This is okay. It looks like you're integrating with respect to s, and you don't want to confuse yourself with that. So you know, whatever, cosine of x, sine of s, whatever, trying to kind of shortcut. It's also okay if you need to write the whole thing. It's okay. You just have to write very fast, and just hope that your opponent doesn't catch up with you. Okay, so that, then minus. I always like to do brackets. Don't try to do it mentally, or you'll mess up. You make mistakes more with that way. But yeah, this is just a way to do it. You just go ahead and write it like this. If you run out of room, you just go like this. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, they cancel out here. You end up the same thing: cosine 2 cosine of x, sine of x. And then you can easily see that this is a u substitution. It would be very sad that you miss a negative, so hopefully that you did not miss a negative. Okay, so if you miss a negative, then I'm sorry. Okay, accuracy. Practice your accuracy. Alright, awesome. I hope that helps, and I'll see you guys in the next video.